Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's weekly options watch list. Hopefully you all had a wonderful weekend and are excited to get back to trading here come Monday. So before I get into the top 5 plays I'm looking at for this week, I want to do a quick market breakdown of the ES futures and where we potentially could go this week. So let's get right into it. So if we zoom in here on the ES, as I said in my last video, I was looking for this bounce off of these extended levels to the downside, and last week that's exactly what we got. A nice reversion to the mean here on the daily time frame, also closing the gap that was created here back on the 10th has now been filled on the ES, so no gaps that I can see on the ES as of now that needs to fill. Um, do like that we are having our first close above that 21 EMA. We're losing the bearish histogram bars here, excuse me, and we're gaining some bullish momentum. Ideally want to see if this 21 EMA can hold and we could see a little more upside, or if it rejects it here come Monday, then it will just stay with the trend that we are in a strong downtrend, and this may be a good level now to short. I want to see how Monday reacts before choosing one way or the other, so that's kind of what I'll be watching on the ES. Now if we come to the weekly time frame, there's a few other things you could note here. So we do have 2 official weeks of this low compression squeeze firing to the downside. This week didn't really have any selling because last week, as I stated before too, was already very extended. So we did get this push higher, didn't even retest the 8 EMA at all yet. So that could be, in my opinion, the next target to the upside is the weekly 8 EMA. And if we surpass that level, then look for that weekly 21 EMA reversion. So that's kind of what I'm having my eye on within the weekly chart here are these 2 key levels to the upside, and if they cannot hold, we will continue to roll over with this squeeze already firing. So that being said, let me go to the top 5 stocks that I'm actually watching for this upcoming week. A few of them to the upside, a few of them to the downside, just depending on what the market is actually maybe going to do this week. So the first one here's going to be AMC to the downside. Its structure has been holding up in this nice bearish trend here very nicely. We have negatively stacked DMAs. Price action is holding perfectly below the 21 EMA, and we have nice bearish momentum on the squeeze histogram, which is also nice to see as well. So with price action being right at that 21 EMA right now, I kind of just want to see the Monday's trading session where this market potentially wants to go before entering any trades. So we'll be keeping a look on the overall market, depending on which trades I would be willing to take this week. So the next one here is BIDU to the upside, actually, due to its structure here. So we don't have positively stacked DMAs, but we are getting plenty of closes and this hold here of the 21 EMA, and it bounced to the upside, which is showing me that the trend here has switched over from being in a downtrend to now we're transitioning into a new uptrend. And with this daily squeeze starting to form here, and our price action holding above this 21 EMA, I do like this one probably later in the week potentially for a swing play. Want to have this daily squeeze develop a little bit more, and then ideally want to see another retest of the 21 EMA for the ideal entry, and then it should, as it did before, bounce from that level. So that's what I'm having my eyes on with BIDU. The next one here is BYND. You can first off see that all this thing has done is just cratered to the downside. So I will also be looking at this one to the downside. We have negatively stacked DMAs. Our price action can't really regain that 21 EMA here at all. We do have this nice daily squeeze setting up, and its histogram bars cannot get above that 0 line, which I like to see, showing that the bullishness cannot come back into beyond. So this one does look good in my opinion to the downside, as long as the overall market follows as well. Next one here is GameStop to the upside, actually. So similar to BIDU, we don't really have stacked DMAs, but its overall structure from a downtrend has switched due to it holding now above this 21 EMA. So similar to BIDU as well, I want this daily squeeze to kind of develop itself a little bit more, so I'll be looking for GameStop more later in the week. Unless we get the early retest of the 21 EMA, then I may look to enter this one to the upside. Alright, and last but not least here, we have Zoom, and this one is also to the upside. Similar to the other ones I was just discussing to the upside, its structure from that downtrend has switched to where it reclaimed the 21, retested it, and held it to the upside. So right now, Zoom is already at a profit target I would take at this +2 ATR level, but this daily squeeze is still looking very nice. So if we can get the reversion off of those extended levels to the 21, I think there is a good entry, in my opinion, on Zoom to the upside. So these are the top 5 stocks I'm looking at for the upcoming week. Hopefully it gives you all a few other things to put on your watch list yourself and a few other levels to watch on the overall market as a whole. Let's go out there on Monday and start making some money, everybody.